Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Novel Nana. I'm Bex. So today in this video, we are going to be discussing what makes a full-bodied character. So I've given a lot of thought to this, and I have compiled a little bit of a list, and I think that maybe it'll help you. This is what I have compiled that's always helped me. Kind of know what to add and really highlight in my story for my characters to make them more believable and relatable and interesting. So anyway, basically this is how to do that, okay? So I have titled this video, Knowing the Math, which will make you have a full-bodied character. So I have come up with just the 36, 24, 36. So I know these are measurements, but if you think of those measurements, that would be a really, full-bodied person or character, if you will. And I thought maybe if we could do the numbers, it might be an easier way to let you know if you are adding up to a full-bodied character for your story. So anyway, I'm going to walk you through this process and maybe it'll help. I sure hope that it will. It always helps me. So knowing the math to help it add up to a full-bodied character. That's what this video is all about. So we're going to start breaking it down. Okay, so we're going to use the measurements that I first stated, which was 36, 24, 36. So I have written down on a whiteboard, just out of the camera's view, in big letters, might I add, so I can see it, a way to do this. And it's going to help me to be able to explain it a little better and hopefully, fingers crossed here, but hopefully to stay on topic and not make this video, too long. So, okay, know the math, adding up to full-bodied characters, 36, 24, 36. Those are the numbers you need to remember for this system, okay? So we're going to start with the number 36. We're going to break it apart. So starting with the first number of 36 with the 3, give your characters 3 attributes. Now, the attributes are different than traits in the sense that an attribute is a quality or a characteristic that makes them human, okay? So this will help with the relatability issues. So give us a positive attribute, give us a negative or not so positive attribute or a flaw, give us a neutral attribute, which by giving someone a neutral attribute, this will help them be so much more relatable because we're not all, just cut and dry, black and white. Some of us are going to fit in a more morally gray area. So if you can highlight these things and bring them out in your character, they of course are going to seem more realistic, if that makes sense. So as far as examples maybe of humanistic or more relatable qualities or characteristics for your character, you can choose things like honesty or grit or courage, integrity. I wrote down a few words over here. Let me check them. Loyalty, brave, selfish, cowardly, clumsy, curiosity, optimistic, pessimistic. You can really play around with those things, but, just throw the book at it, see what sticks. Okay, so on to the 6 in 36. Okay, for this one, we are going to highlight 6 basic background type things of your character. So these things could be something as easy as, where they work or where they go to school or where they live. Is it an apartment or a high-rise, skyscraper? Do they live in the city or the country or a house, or do they live on a farm? Do they, are they, I don't know, guys, basically anywhere, any location or place to live, whatever. Are they from a single family, divided family, whatever the case may be. Let's not stay on that one too long. Maybe give us their height, their age, their name, their education, something about their home life. Now, mind you guys, I'm not saying put this all in one huge, cram it in your face info dump. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying pick at least 6 things kind of from your character's background, whether that be their education or their friendships or, their place of work or whatever the case may be. Sprinkle them throughout the story to help your character become more evolved, more relatable, more fleshed out, more full-bodied. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second number, which was the 24. And we're going to break this apart by doing the first number, which is the number 2. So what I mean by this first number 2, I want you to remember like 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay, so 1, give your character 1 external conflict and 1 internal conflict. Now, if you don't want to go that route, I don't know, can it be pronounced that way? I'm not sure. We're just going to pretend I didn't say that. Whatever fits. Okay, so either give them an external goal or an external conflict, and then an internal conflict or an internal goal. Whichever way you want to do it. You can do conflict or goal, but just make sure that you're giving them one of each, an internal and an external one. Okay, this will also help them feel a little more full-bodied. Okay, so moving on to the second number in the second number, which was 24, we're going to go with the number 4. Okay, so the number 4, this is what I want you to consider for your story and your character. Now, give them something good, bad, something they can observe, and then something that they can be active in. Now, this can be any situation. This could be viewing them in a different light, maybe view them in a good light, and then maybe not such a positive light. Show them kind of sitting on the sidelines. Show them then, participating or taking that active role. If you do these 4 things, the good, the bad, the observer, and then the active role, once you do this, it will make your character more full-bodied, more fleshed out, more realistic, and more relatable. Because as you know, humans are flawed, how we act and respond to different things really could depend on the day, we change, like a flip of a coin or whatever, because our mood, our circumstances, all these things can affect the way that we behave in certain situations. Maybe if you woke up cranky and tired one day, you're going to be a little more snappy than you normally would be when dealing with people or situations. So just keep that in mind. So you do want to show them both in a good light or a positive light, and also in a not so positive or even a bad light. You do also want to make sure that you are showing them in some way, fashion, or form, really taking a back seat or stepping back, being an observer, a bystander. But then you also want to show them in the opposite. So you're going to want to show them being active or taking an active role of participation, whether that be chasing their dreams or going after that goal or, just doing something active to pursue whatever it is that they're wanting or needing. So make sure that you remember that. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, we're going to move on now because this video is already getting very long to the last set of numbers, which was the 36. So we're going to break these 2 numbers apart as well. So for the number 3, I want you to give your character something that they want. Give them something that they need. And then show them in a compromise, because we are not always going to say yes. We're not all yes men, and we're not always, the negative Nancy's, no, 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 no. So you're going to want to give your character or show your character being put in different situations to really highlight that different personality, the different aspects of their personality. So, and this will also help them feel more relatable, more realistic. So if you show them, getting something that they want, versus something that they need, and then show them making an active compromise, whether that be with the want or the need or whatever. But just show us this. That way we get to know your character on a deeper level. it always helps. Okay, so we're going to move on now to the next number, which is the 6, the last set of numbers, which was 36. We're going on to the last number of that set, which is number 6. Okay, for number 6, we're almost done, guys. Stick with me. We're almost done. The first thing I want you to remember is just like the 1 and 1 making 2, we're going to use a 3 and 3 formula here for that number 6. So we want to see in the stories, full-bodied and well-rounded, really relatable. They don't even have to be likable, but you do want interesting characters. You want multifaceted. You want, layered characters. So this might be a way that you can implement that whole spectrum of emotion and color and just everything about your character. So 3 relationships, okay? Let's see them interacting with a friend or a family member or a neighbor or a coworker or a teacher or a significant other or maybe even a stranger or a background character. Show us how they might interact with different people, because you know as well as I do that none of us really act the exact same way around every single person that we are around or interact with. Depending on the intimacy levels between the characters, depending on how long you've known the person, or if you even like the person, or even something as significant as the age difference. Maybe it's a younger sibling, or maybe it's an old neighbor across the street, old lady or an old man, or whatever the case may be. Show us your character interacting with different types of people, different genders, different age groups, different backgrounds or ethnicities or races. Show us the relationship intimacy. Show us whether, we could tell if it's a friend or a close confidant, or whether it's a significant other. Show us that friendship. Show us the levels of, I don't even know the word I'm looking for here, but I think you guys get the point. Show us how they know that person, and build up that aspect of their personality and their ingrained characteristics. Show us what they, or who, excuse me, not what, but who they interact with and how they interact. So, you might talk to your grandmother differently, on the phone than you would say, your best friend, or whatever the case may be. So think about this and consider that when you're doing dialogue, or maybe revealing a certain characteristic of your character, or some trait or personality part. Think about these things, because they can really help you flesh out that character and help the reader understand and know the character just as well as the author. So, on to the last part of that number 6, the other 3. So this is where you're going to put in 3 personality traits. Okay, so what I mean by traits are an ingrained habit. It could be difficult to unlearn or difficult to learn. Maybe this would be an example, someone who is an introvert versus someone who is an extrovert. These things are usually ingrained already. So these are personality traits, okay, if that makes sense. Now, this could be something as simple as someone being someone that beats around the bush, or someone that's blunt, someone that is affectionate versus someone who is very standoffish and, to themselves, persistence, self-control, blunt, frank, sincere, greed, cruelty, persistence, forgiving versus unforgiving. Just pick a personality trait, and show us them using those specific traits to move the plot along, or to further themselves in the story, or along in their journey, or to maybe enhance those certain traits. Show us how those traits help them in attaining that goal, or at least getting closer to that goal. Okay, so long story short, just think about physical and emotional traits and attributes, and remember the 36-24-36 measurements to help your character be more full-bodied. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. I really do hope that this method of remembering could help you in your stories. I know that it helps me in mine, so just throwing it out there, use it, tweak it, do whatever you got to do to make it work for you. Anyway, that's all I have. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you do like this type of content, just, give me a thumbs up. It sure does help my channel. Subscribe if you want to, and ding that bell. It will notify you the next time that I upload some new content for you. So thanks again for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're doing nano, I hope that this little method might help you in forming those characters. And if you're not doing nano, it can still help, guys. It's not nano specific. But anyway, thanks a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one. And until then, happy writing. Bye.